Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a really powerful allegorical story from the Voicewell Somatic Scripts. It's about a woman named Ariella, but honestly, as we're going to see, it's really a story about all of us. We're going to explore the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and find out exactly what a somatic journey to unlearn it looks like. So, our story actually starts on this morning, where the rain is just falling heavy and steady. Like the sky is whispering secrets against the window panes. Ariella's caught in her usual autopilot. On the outside, she's functioning perfectly. She's carrying a laundry basket, her mind is racing to manage everyone else's urgencies, the usual. But then, the mundane gets interrupted. This glowing, ghostly kettle spirit appears on the stairs and just asks her to breathe. And a gentle voice, JL, reminds her of this really profound truth. Return is not a place, it is a practice. Section 1. The Weight of Performance. As we enter this inner sanctuary, we move away from that creaky, cluttered hallway of daily obligations into a really profound internal space. And here's where we have to reframe our whole understanding of the issue. So often we treat people-pleasing like it's a personality flaw, right? Or some kind of weakness. But what we discover is that it's actually an ancient, somatic survival spirit. It's a physical tension in the body. It's that tightened throat, the braced shoulders, taking shallow breaths while you wait for permission. It's a readiness to adapt that literally kept Ariella safe when she was younger. So recognizing this as a physical reflex and not some moral failing is absolutely crucial. It's the first step to finally letting it go. Section 2. Meeting the unperformed self. Now, as Ariella walks past this dusty, ornate glass that she normally just ignores, she's startled into an awakening. It's not just a reflection. She's suddenly confronted by the sheer exhaustion of her own carefully managed functioning. When she approaches the mirror, she drops the veil, and the glass ripples into this beautiful liquid silver, revealing a really stark contrast. First, there's the performed self, that subtle lean of appeasement, constantly scanning the room for approval. But then, the mirror shows her the unperformed self. Her spine is long, her eyes are steady, she is sovereign, unbraced, and absolutely unwilling to negotiate her worth. It's this incredible, awe-inspiring moment where she recognizes who she actually is beneath the mask. Section 3, the somatic release. Seeing this unperformed self triggers something incredibly deep within her. Actually, I want to invite you to just slow down with me for a second. Feel your own feet on the floor. Take a slightly deeper breath. Okay, so as Ariella places a hand on her chest, that old survival spirit of people-pleasing begins to uncoil. It doesn't rip or tear away. It just unhooks. She honors it, whispering, "You kept me safe, and now I release you." The shadow spirit exhales, unraveling into a glowing silhouette of her younger self, before just dissolving into golden dust and drifting upward. It is such a tender, cathartic unburdening. And the space left behind, it isn't hollow, it's luminous and wide open. So the real question is, how do we actually integrate this? Well, the sources give us a practical way to connect Ariella's release right to your own nervous system. Let's try this activation breath right now. Step 1, place your hand on your sternum. Step 2, inhale, feeling that expansion in your ribs, really noticing the space where that old tension used to live. Step 3, exhale, visualizing light and release. And finally, step 4, let your body register the truth that you don't have to earn your place. Just notice how that feels for a moment. Section 4, navigating the aftershocks. Of course, the release is rarely the end of the story, is it? You don't just drop a lifelong survival mechanism and instantly feel perfectly balanced. No way. Ask yourself, where do you feel the wobble in your own body when you finally set a boundary or speak your truth? After the golden spirit leaves, Ariella's hands tremble. She feels heat rushing up her spine, cold shivers down her arms. Her body literally reaches for that old bracing habit and finds nothing to grip. It's so important to understand that these tremors, they're recalibration. They are not weakness. It is literally just your body learning its new internal gravity. Section 5, action from your center. Once that trembling softens into stability, Ariella acts from her center. She lights this simple glass lantern and speaks her truth aloud for the very first time. I'm not performing anymore. And her voice has real weight to it now. In response, the mirror gives her this profound gift, a symbol that integrates right into her chest, a luminous golden circle opened at the top. This shape perfectly illustrates the ultimate truth of this journey. You can be whole, even when you're open. You can be sovereign, even when connected. You don't have to close yourself off or isolate yourself to be safe, and you definitely don't have to leak your energy just to belong. Section 6. The relational ripple effect. Taking this internal shift out into the real world, Ariella leaves the mythic sanctuary and walks down a heavy, cold stone corridor. She's carrying a folded parchment, which represents a truth she had swallowed and hidden for years. She's exposed, she's vulnerable, but she is utterly centered. She knocks on a door and hands the parchment to someone she used to shrink for. Now, let's look at how this dynamic reorganizes. On the left, we have comfort-based connection. This relies entirely on one person bending, softening, and performing just to keep the peace. But Ariella initiates the right column, truth-based connection. She doesn't try to manage their reaction, she just stands there. And the other person realizes they've been relying on her to shrink. When they both drop the performance, two centers finally meet face-to-face in clear light, without any distortion. Bringing this all together, our key insights reveal a really clear path forward. First, we have to remember that people-pleasing is a survival reflex, not a character flaw. And returning to yourself, that's an ongoing practice, not a one-time destination. When you feel that wobble or trembling after setting a boundary, just remind yourself, it's your body recalibrating. True wholeness means you can stay open. It never requires isolation. And ultimately, relationships will inherently reorganize around your truth when you start acting from your center. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. Take a second and think about your own posture, your own breath, your own relationships. What truth are you currently swallowing just to keep the peace? And what might happen if you let that old survival spirit go and allowed yourself to simply take up space? Thank you so much for exploring this journey with me today. Take a deep breath, and I'll catch you next time.